Hello, everybody, and welcome, of course, to this week's Power Shot with the wonderful Anna Rooney and myself in the background, Paul Rees. It's great to be here. Anna, and here we are. And today we are bouncing into how do you keep business sanity in line? Now, that's a massive one.
Yeah.
Because that shapes burnout, that shapes exhaustion, that shapes emotional we become emotional roller coasters when we run in a business, so you have
Absolutely.
you have to have an outlet or an exhaust, as we say. So, how do we do this?
As a solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, whatever you call it, right?
Yeah.
We have not 40-hour a week, not 50, not 60. Sometimes it goes above 70, or we keep going until we literally burnt out, right? There is a lot of talks about burned out at a corporate level in all the big corporations. But if we break it down and bring it down to our level, we actually the ones that breaking the rules all the time, right?
So
and
true.
Then so what about you, Paul? How do you deal with this?
Well, my thing is that, first of all, I want to say that I'm a victim of my own pressure. And this is what happens. I am someone that puts a lot of pressure on myself. For my last 3 weeks have been 80-hour weeks. And I can't give any excuse as to why I did that, in the sense of I just got back into a bad habit. And it is a bad habit. And I started getting dizzy spells, and I started getting real stressed. I found that my thinking was slowing down. My love for myself started
you're
slowing.
Forgetting things.
Yeah, and I started stop feeling good about myself, thinking that just get back in it. Absolutely. What I do is I put my leg over my saddle of my bike, and I get out and I pedal myself. I get out, and I need that. I need to put that or release that by biking. That's what I've biked for, God, probably 35 years. Deb says we sell the house before we sell the bike.
Okay, I love that. That's cool. Yeah, no, in my case, up to last couple of years, I didn't have anything say as planned as it is now. So the biggest thing was for me to take off my heels, because I am on my heels literally 24/7. And when COVID started, I literally couldn't walk in flats.
Wow.
They were all my daughter, my son were laughing at me. So I had to learn how to do it. And now I'm actually very proud to say and share that I walk every day. I walk intentionally, and I set goals. So last month was 200 kilometers, and I did that. It was a bit of pressure in the end, but I know that if I didn't do that, I couldn't have clarity in my head. A lot of good ideas come in when I'm walking, but when I'm walking, I say every day I have to keep up maybe 5 kilometers or more. It's only an hour, but to get that hour in place, it definitely helps how I conduct my business, how fresh and sharp I am in what I do. And if I didn't give myself that time, well, I would have been lost. And be honest with you, I wouldn't have met you or anybody else this in the last 6 months, because I start doing things in completely different way. So yeah, it's absolute must.
We have to realign ourselves, like we reboot our laptop on a daily basis. We have to reboot ourselves emotionally, physically, and mentally every day. It's the fact. But here's the thing: all you were watching this today is that there are different ways in how we get our outlet, what it looks like. My wife, she physically can't, because she has a disability. She has ankylosing spondylitis. So her outlet, she eats books. She's a readathon person, and she gets through books like nobody's business. But that's her exercise. That's where she gets to. That's where she gets her release. So it is different for every introvert, extrovert, wherever you are. But please get yourself an outlet, because when you're maximizing yourself emotionally and mentally every day, you have to reboot every day, just like your laptop, just like your phone.
That's where creativity comes to play, isn't it? When you get that free space in your head by doing something very different.
Yeah.
And you reset for something that's there waiting for you.
Yeah. You know, people say that, you know, I have a coffee, you know, you need caffeine in the morning. Switch your caffeine out for meditation and make that your caffeine.
I love that. That's so cool.
Meditation is caffeine in the sense of it can revive you, it reboots you every day also. You know, and it's so important to have those times, to have that, as I say, that space to be a human being before being a human doing.
You know, Paul, I think I'd love to continue this theme. This sounds really cool, and it makes me think more and more on what I want to do next. So
let's do this. I mean, you bring this in. So this was a fantastic power shot. And Anna, what's next week, Lev? What are we doing next week?
You know what? I think I'd love to share my experience, what was last week for me. And let's do the importance of celebrating you. How about that?
Happy days. Let's do that. Perfect. Until this time next week, of course, it's been a wonderful Anna Rooney, myself in the background, Paul Rees. I'm going to say from me, bye from now. And Anna?
Bye for now.